and their chief China economist there. Well, staying on the MPC, we asked the former US Ambassador Max Borges what policy clues he'll be watching out for today and where relations between Washington and Beijing might be headed.
Number one is what's the mix between consumption and investment. China historically, I think, has done a pretty good job of tailoring the answer to that question to the circumstances, and obviously with greater tension between the two countries. China's hunkering down a little more. At the same time, the U.S. is trying to protect its supply lines so that it doesn't have to source outside, rather it can have developed products in the country. I think you'll see China moving slightly toward an e-currency, ever so slightly. They clearly would like not to have the dollar dominate world financial markets quite so much. That's going to be interesting to see. How far do they go? On the U.S. side, clearly, this administration, my administration, is going to be doing a kind of a reset. We're going to, one thing, look at the tariffs and look at all the sanctions and then try to figure out which of these are effective and which of these are not. Some of them are not very effective. They don't accomplish their intended purpose. They hurt people in China more than they hurt Americans. In some cases, Xi Jinping doesn't care about some of the sanctions. It's like water off the back of a duck. So you'll see this administration going to look at all the sanctions, trying to figure out which ones work and which ones don't, and to find out which of their toolbox are effective.
We're also expecting to hear more developments on their plans to overhaul the electoral system in Hong Kong, as well as any references to the situation in Xinjiang as well. You've said before that under President Obama, the US didn't have any leverage to really do anything about that situation, or potentially what's happening in Hong Kong as well under President Biden. What leverage is there in terms of some of the sanction reviews that you're saying will take place?
I think, frankly, some great leverage is a reputational risk that China suffers if they don't address Hong Kong, especially if they don't address Xinjiang. It's difficult for sanctions imposed by the United States or sanctions imposed by other countries, say the UK, to have real direct effect in trying to change behavior. That's why I think Biden's going to try to do a reset. On the other hand, the more the United States stands up for human rights and other Western countries also strongly espouse human rights, that somewhat embarrasses China. It might be not totally water off the back of a duck, but it's still, Xi Jinping has his legacy. He wants to be a country that's respected. And also, when the United States stands up for human rights, that empowers a lot of the people within China, whether it's Xinjiang or Hong Kong, wherever it is. It gives them faith. It gives them a little hope. That's something the United States has done in the past and will continue to do so, but do it appropriately. Don't do it in a personal way. Don't try to embarrass China, but still be very strong in standing up for human rights.
And there have been such high expectations about this sort of coalition of like-minded democracies, right? Is it a concern for you that perhaps we may be seeing this from Western democracies in cases like, say, Myanmar? We had US, UK sanctions on Myanmar generals, but Asian countries really not joining in the effort?
No, they're caught. Asian countries are very much caught between the two elephants, China and the U.S. When I was talking to Southeast Asian ambassadors during the time of the Trans-Pacific Partnership, they had pleaded with me for the United States to stay in the TPP. I asked why, and the answer is very clear. They said, well, we want to play you off against China, whether it's Vietnam or whether it's Philippines or whether it's Singapore. It's that we're there so that those countries can play us off one against each other. They don't want to be influenced too much by China. They don't want to stiff-arm China either. Same with the U.S.
Ambassador to China, Max Borges. Right, coming up next, another big listing is headed to Hong Kong. Sources say Chinese search engine giant Baidu has won the green light for a second listing in the city. Details ahead. This is Bloomberg.